welcome back to our Japa circle. Hopefully everyone has their own Japa circle at home. And these intermittent meetings, or regular meetings actually, are meant to give us impetus so that while we are alone, that we have the momentum coming from these to keep very high level of practice of japa. One of the ways to do that is to hear Sambandha Jnana and hear about the glories of the holy name. Otherwise, it's easy to commit the fifth offense in chanting, which is to consider the holy name to be, or the glories of chanting the holy name to be imaginary. Hare Krishna Madhavananda Prabhu. Vanchakalpatarusha kripasindhabevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Unless we hear about the glories of the holy name, then with inattentive chanting and without having the experience of hearing the uniqueness of the holy name, hearing a sound vibration that we've never heard before, that's ever fresh, then I might start to think that actually maybe this is just imagination. Atheists, there is no God, it's just sound, why not chant Coca-Cola, and so forth. These are all waiting for us on the other side of the spiritual demarcation. The viraja divides the material and spiritual world. So we have to stay at least an inch on the side, an inch away from the material world by hearing about the glories of Krishna from authorized sources. And we can remember that actually I'm associating with Krishna. Do you all want to move up just a little bit? So here are some nectarian words coming from Haridas Thakur from the Harinam Chintamani to help us fix our mind and determination in the chanting this morning. Lord Chaitanya himself accepted as a fact that through the chanting of the name, all the pastimes of the Lord could be revealed. Next, Haridas considered who is a Vaishnava. That person is called a Vaishnava who takes the holy name in faith and pure intention. And that person is called a semi-Vaishnava who takes the name but with the impurity of Namabhasa. However, by the mercy of Krishna, the semi-Vaishnava gradually becomes a pure Vaishnava. In either case, one must take to the name, for in this material world, there is nothing comparable to it. It is the ultimate treasure in Krishna's storehouse, since it contains within it the whole spiritual realm. The particles of spirit, who are the parts and parcels of Krishna, have in illusion come into this world of dull matter, and the holy name containing all aspects of Krishna and the full power of Krishna has come into this world just to deliver those spirit souls. One should know that everything in the world other than the jiva and the holy name are without substance. Just say back 2 points that you remember. We need 2 points reflected, and then we'll go into chanting. Can we have microphones quick? What did you hear? Just say back what you heard.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Guru Maharaj. This is Dhanawari. My reflection is whether it's the Namabhasa at the beginning, doesn't matter, it will get purified slowly, gradually, but you have to keep on chanting and keep on going. So that's my one reflection, one thing I heard that I like. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. One more point.
I really like the point that holy name will reveal all the pastimes of the Lord automatically.
Yes, the Leela is contained in the name of Krishna. It's a great treasure. Everything is available through the holy name. One more bonus point.
What I like
Go
was
ahead.
holy name is of the only essence here. Everything else, Jiva and the holy name are only of the essence.
The holy name is what?
The last point you mentioned, Guru Maharaj, that is, holy name is of the only essence in this world. Everything else is of no importance, or
Okay.
anything else is of no importance.
So nowhere else to go except for right here. Gaur Premanande Haribol. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram, Ram
Rama, Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Ram,
Rama Rama, Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Ram
Rama Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram,
Rama, Rama Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram, Ram
Rama, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare Ram,
Rama
Ram
Rama, Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram
Rama, Hare
Ram,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Hare Hare, Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Krishna, 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 Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Ram, 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 Ram. Krishna, 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 Ram, 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 Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram, Ram, Ram,
Krishna, Hare Rama,
Krishna, 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 Ram, 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 Ram,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna, 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 Hare Hare.
Oh, Hare Krishna, 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 Ram, Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram.
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram.
Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, 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 Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram.
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram.
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna.
Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare Hare.
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama Rama,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram
Rama, Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama, Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram, Ram,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram, Ram, Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Ram,
Rama, Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Ram, Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram Ram. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna,
Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ram.
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram, Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Rama Rama,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Ram,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Ram, Ram, Ram,
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Rama.
Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, 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 Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare.
Ram, Ram, Ram,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Ram, Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Rama Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama, Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram, Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram, Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Rama, Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram.
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Sit
Krishna, Hare
properly.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama, Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram
Rama, Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram.
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare
Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama
Ram,
Rama Rama
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare Rama
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna,
Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Hare Rama
Krishna,
Rama Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama
Ram,
Rama Rama
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama
Hare
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 Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama
Ram
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama Hare
Ram
Rama
Ram,
Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama Hare
Hare
Rama Rama
Ram, Hare
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Rama Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama
Ram
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama Hare Rama Rama
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram Hare Krishna
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Ram Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna Ram
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Ram Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna 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 Hare Ram
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna Ram
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna. Oh Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Ram,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. For the next 1 minute, please go into full samadhi on the holy name. Any other thoughts that may have been combining with the chanting, just leave behind. And for 1 minute, give full attention to every syllable for the Maha Mantra. I'll let you know when the minute's up and what it feels like. Are you ready? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. A few more words for guidance from Haridas Thakur. Krishna's names are of two types, primary and secondary. By taking shelter of the primary names, the living entity gets the highest benefit. Those names which are part of the transcendental Leela of the Lord are considered primary names, such as Govinda, Gopal, Rama, Radhanatha, and Hari. Reveal the eternal Leelas of the Lord, and by chanting them, the living entity gets entrance into the spiritual world. The secondary names are those which describe the Lord's functions. The Creator, Paramatma, and Brahman are names for use in karma and jnana-kanda, and give material elevation and liberation. Since the principal names alone give love of Godhead, the devotees accept only the principal names. Just as there are different types of names with different effects, so there are different ways of chanting the name with different effects. The scriptures, of course, declare that if one chants the name of Krishna once, or hears the name of Krishna once, whether it be the pure name or the impure name, the jiva is still delivered from the clutches of the material energy. However, the types of deliverance and the speed of deliverance must be noted. If the name is chanted in namabhasa, impurely, the benefit will come slowly, because the person will eventually attain pure love of God. The Abhasa name is considered all auspicious. By the process of Namabhasa chanting, sins are gradually destroyed until the name is chanted and heard purely. At that stage of pure chanting, the devotee quickly achieves the goal, pure love of Godhead. There is also the case of chanting or hearing the holy name with more impurity than Namabhasa, situated at a greater distance from the pure name. The greater the distance is, the less the effect of the name. Such obstruction or distance from the name, where chanting gives little or no effect, is called aparadha, or offense. The obstruction of vyavadhana, separation, is the mistaken idea that Krishna's name and Krishna are different or separate. In other words, the belief that the absolute truth does not reside in the name, and that therefore chanting the name cannot bring one to the highest realization of truth, is called vyavadhana, or separation. As long as this belief persists, love of God is impossible to attain. So in some ways, Wi-Fi, the farther away you are, and the less you get a connection. So by the pure faith and in the holy name, and having sadhu sangha, and chanting the primary names, one can very quickly become advanced. But if our chanting is weak or distracted or influenced by aparadha, covered by offenses, then the process is very slow. And that's dangerous, because there's a way in which I might think, well, it's not working, therefore it doesn't, it's imagination, fifth offense. So Rupa Goswami says that we have to be careful of this. Niyamagraha, he said, don't just chant for the sake of chanting without getting a result. In other words, we have some responsibility. Not that, how come the name didn't deliver me? I have to also be eager and attentive and very enthusiastic to chant. And then we'll feel the reciprocation from Krishna, and we'll be able to overcome the fifth offense, or thinking that it's imaginary, and maybe I'll just do something else. I'll read the encyclopedia or something. Just a couple comments, and then we'll do our last chanting. Any reflections?
Maharaj, I like the point when you mentioned that the further you're from the Wi-Fi, the weaker the signal is. So it's pretty practical that we could feel that when we are in a group close with the sadhus, with the elevated Vaishnavas, the level of chanting, the focus is much higher. So we need to stay close to where the transponder is, the signal is.
Yeah, if you don't have a strong signal, then call in and upgrade. See if you can get an upgrade to a higher level of Wi-Fi in your chanting. Don't have it breaking up. Hey, you're breaking up. A couple more.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I had one point, Prabhu, where you mentioned that it's a reciprocation, because sometimes people ask, oh, if holy name is so powerful, why is it that the success depends on your attention? But what you just read proves that it's, yes, the holy name is powerful, but you have to pay the price, like through your faith, attention, and then we get the total benefit.
It's a very important point. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Samoham sarvabhuteshu nami dveshostina priya ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya maite teshu chapyaham. I'm equal to everybody. I give everyone an opportunity for whatever facility he or she wants. I don't hate or I'm attracted to any particular person, but ye bhajanti, somebody who leans in and worships me, to that person I'm available. Actually, he says, I'm in that person, now that person's in me. So devotional service is dependent on love and our willingness and openness to give ourselves to Krishna, and then Krishna fully gives himself to us without hesitation. One more. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I was just thinking that the specific names that you mentioned about Govinda, Gopala, so these are all names of Krishna in Vraja. So, it specifically says that we should actually be connecting to these names. So is there a particular reason, Prabhu?
Yeah, because Krishna is a person. Do you have any nicknames? Do you?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell him, but is there any reason you have a nickname? Who calls you by a nickname?
My close family members at home.
Is there any reason for that? What's the reason they call you by a nickname?
With a lot more affection, maybe?
There you go. It's all dependent on affection. And so Krishna is a real person. There's real affection. There are those who are very close to him. And if you get on the circle and find out what somebody's nickname is, and you're actually allowed to call them by their nickname, then everyone goes, wow, those people are tight. He calls them by his nickname. He doesn't call them Sir Donald something or other. He calls them, hey, Skippy. So that's the point. It's there's a real world. The real world is where the devotees are living with Krishna in full affection, and we're entering into that world. And the amazing way that we're doing it is by chanting those names that are especially dear to Krishna. It attracts his attention and it attracts our attention also. Okay, we have a couple more minutes to chant. Gaur Premanande Haribol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Ram
Rama
Ram,
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Rama Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Gaur
Ram Ram,
Premanande
Hare
Hari
Krishna,
Bol.
Hare Ram,
So we just
Ram
have a
Ram,
couple minutes before greeting of the deities. Back to your point about the chanting of Krishna's nicknames, his intimate names. This is something that's noted in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Rupa Goswami, Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gotrushe Namaha. The great sadhus are all amazed because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is just telling everybody. Normally you don't get this insider information, but he's coming out and just giving it to the whole world and saying, here are Krishna's most intimate names, here's what he does in the spiritual world, and everyone's like, can you just go out in the street and tell everybody that? And he has a way of distributing that to everybody. So that's why he says he's the most magnanimous of all avatars. He just broadcasts it everywhere and makes the process available to even people who aren't considered intimate. It's just like, okay, you can enter into this path by following Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we're getting the name by his grace through the great devotees that are following in the disciplic succession from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shri Harinam Ki Jai, Gaur Premanande Haribol, Vancha Kalpatarusha,